It is Friday morning, July 10th. We just backed Winnie out, doing last minute loading, and heading to Ohio.
Oh.
Well, Susan's
Hello.
loading us
Last
up.
minute load.
Getting ready to go.
Okay, we're hooking up Ernie. Jim's checking everything out, making sure she's hooked up, ready to hit the road, and we are on our way out of the Royal Harbor storage facility.
Well, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we have settled in for the rest of the afternoon. We're in Unadilla, Georgia, 300 miles from home, so this is one of our longest driving days. Sunday about noon, we're on a riverboat in Chattanooga, taking a trip down the Tennessee River. Now here comes the Southern Belle. Well, as I said, it's Sunday, so we left on Friday, made it to about 100 miles south of Atlanta. We went 300 miles and then drove to the Georgia-Tennessee border where we are now, and we're just now beginning into the mountains, and pretty soon, well, we're here for 3 days and then we'll head through the Smokies going north. I believe straight ahead there is what's called Lookout Mountain, the top from which you can see 7 states. But I don't think that's going to be true today. Well, there's the Delta Queen riverboat. I don't know if it's active or not. Better shot of the Delta Queen.
Built back in 1927, she's 285 feet long.
285. Well, now the animals are shooting out of their mouths. Kids. This boat has been on all the rivers, including the Panama Canal, but a couple years ago it ceased operation, and it just sits here and operates as a restaurant. Pretty nice homes right on the river. Wouldn't be a bad place to live. We're just off of the river at one of the city parks. Underneath this roof is a 100-year-old carousel. And then there's a really nice park. There's the bridge going across to the downtown where we were on the boat. And this carousel is over 100 years old. Susan wants to ride the fish someplace. There's a fish. Well, I think we're on our way here. It's about 90 degrees, quite humid, so the kids are having just a great time. And these animals squirt water at various times. While the kids are in the pool, all the parents are sitting under the tree getting a little bit of shade. Monday morning around 11, and we're at the Chattanooga Lookout Mountain Incline Railway, and we're gonna hop on that and go right up there. It's about a mile trip. It's the world's longest, steepest incline railway. Well, here we go.
Please remain seated so we can take complete.
We made it to the top. It is pretty steep. And we got quite a view from up here. There's the Tennessee River off to the left. Okay, here we go down. And it is pretty steep. After leaving the incline railway, we are now up at the top of the mountain at the Rock City Gardens. We're at the beginning of the Enchanted Trail. A little narrow down in there. We even have a little piped-in music as you're walking along. Well, we've come to a swinging bridge. So, you can look and see. Alright, we're at a point called Lover's Leap. And it's a point that sticks out. And you can look down, way down. Some nice flowers right up here at Lover's Leap. And there's a waterfall. We can follow that down, and down, and down. Goes quite a ways down. Now from this point, you can see 7 states. I guess on a clear day. So Kentucky and Virginia off to the left. And North Carolina sort of there. South Carolina. And then there's Georgia and Alabama. See the line? Now there is the waterfalls we took a picture of. And Leaping Rock, or whatever it's called, where we were looking at the 7 states.
After visiting Rock City, we decided it was time to have something to eat, so we found this nice park. Joe's getting our lunch ready.
It is now Thursday, and we are in Cincinnati. Actually, right now we're in Covington, Kentucky, but one of the must-do things is to have Cincinnati-style chili. So, Susan has a 3-way chili. I have a 4-way chili, which is spaghetti, chili, cheese, and onions. So hers is 3-way without the onions, and we have a little chili dog. There is downtown Cincinnati. We are really across the river in Kentucky and Covington. Going to be taking the BB riverboat. I believe that the Mark Twain here is the boat that will be boarding shortly for a cruise down the Ohio River. It's right around the Cincinnati area. Well, there's that funny looking building on the left. It was right next to that where we were having our chili just a little while ago. So that's in Covington, Kentucky. And there is a bridge crossing over into Ohio to the football stadium. And a really nice view of downtown with the baseball red stadium. The river is complete without a couple of restaurants, including a Hooters right on the water. Now we're in the town of Robert Hash. On this little town, there is an old general store right over here. It's been running for how long? 1831 this general store opened. Looks like they're having a little barbecue over there. Inside the general store, there's all kinds of crap.
We were having a great day until we got a flat tire, so we're sitting for AAA to come and rescue us. Just glad it didn't happen while we were towing it at the motorhome.
Well, Ernie is gotta be towed. The spare is flat, everything's flat. Can't put any air
Well, it's
in it.
Friday morning, and we're going through downtown Cincinnati in front of us. Getting ready to cross the bridge here from Kentucky into Ohio.
We are at the FMCA rally in Bowling Green, Ohio. Well, if you're in the market for a new motorhome, they have all the vendors, all the manufacturers here. There are probably several hundred that you can go check out. If you're into high-end coaches, we're probably looking at $1 million here. So we're going to go in and take a look.
We're tying into it.
Granite floors.
But pushing this button, as soon as you get it hooked up, it will come out and you got your extra counter space.
Yeah, for this
When
one
you're
is.
done, if you can see it will
Just I'll go up here and see the interior lighting.
You can
Feels like
you can have your internet, TV, check all your systems. Like, or it's a perfect workspace.
I want one of those martinis up there, the button on, and the
50
monitor
50,000.
heights.
We've got the
Start
dishwasher.
of the kitchen,
This coffee
dishwasher, coffee maker,
never
and
wanted to
we
heat
have
up.
a bathroom with a
Remember to put it in.
combination toilet bidet.
No problem, we would do that.
So we're going now
This
into
is
the
a
master
real
bedroom.
king-size bed, and it's a
King
kind
size
like, you know, where
bed.
you can raise the back and the feet and get all so you're not looking over your feet and all, and it's comfortable. You got your walk-in closet, or you can have some more shelf, you know, storage.
The electric door to the closet. You have the driving console with all your goodies, GPS and everything.
Okay.
Bottom line on this coach is about 1.4 million. So while you're sitting outside, you have another 42-inch flat panel. Well, is waiting for an opportunity to board this coach, which has an outdoor patio and sliding doors that go out to the patio. When you're finished, you push a button and it folds up and becomes the floor of the patio becomes the wall. It is Monday evening. So we're going to go to the ball game here at Toledo to see the Mud Hens. Well, we made it inside. I think we're section 112, right by that guy's row N. Field looks nice. There's the Mud Hen. And we're at the exhibit building. This is sort of a central meeting point. And there's Susan wandering around. So there are a lot of vendors, inside, outside, anything you want to buy. Well, in 2004, when we went to Mexico with a group, we met 4 of the people, and we are now at a Mexican restaurant and sort of enjoying a little bit of a reunion. About 7:30, and we're down at the stadium where they play football. So they have a stage set up for evening entertainment.
Don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. I'm a shooting star racing through the sky. Like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. They're all everywhere, all around the world.
So there is no background music. They make all the music themselves. These 2 guys back here, one guy's a drummer and the other guy's a bass player.
I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born on the morning it was drizzling rain. I'm fighting in trouble on my middle name. I was raised in the cane, break my head. Oh, I like it. Oh, I don't want to.
Well, it's Thursday morning, and I'm standing on top of the stadium steps just to give you a view of all the motorhomes here. They said there were close to 2,500 altogether. Here's a view from the stadium. They're just parked everywhere. A lot of people are leaving today. It's the last day, but the weather isn't being cooperative. It's kind of on the rainy side, so they're all taking off. But we're staying because there's entertainment tonight. We'll leave in the morning. It's Friday morning. The rally is over, and everybody is getting on the highway. It's pretty empty where we are. But we only have 30 miles to drive today, so we won't be leaving anytime soon.
We're at East Harbor State Park. It's Saturday afternoon. We're scheduled to come here, camp at the state park. So we're just here kind of checking things out. They wouldn't let us into the campground. It's super busy. So we're down at the industrious guys trying to make some fort or sandcastle. That must be Mud Island out there. Perfect place to go out. Do a little digging with your pail and shovel. Sunday afternoon, and Donna and Gary made it. So they just got here, we just got here, and it's now like 1:30, so it's time for lunch. And we're Krabby Joe's on the waterfront. So we have a little afternoon music. The Marblehead Lighthouse, oldest operating lighthouse on the lake. There's a freighter going someplace, and maybe I can find the lighthouse. Oh, there we go. There it is. Well, across the water is an amusement park called Cedar Point. Most noted that it has more roller coasters in any park anywhere. A beautiful Monday morning, about 11 o'clock. So we're gonna hop on this ferry. Here comes, I believe this might be our ferry. Alright, we're leaving it. So we're heading to Hutton Bay, distinguishable by this big tower someplace over here. Not a tower. Oh, there it is. Oh, we got parked down at Gary, where one of the first ones off.
There it is.
Well, Donna's signing her life away. We're renting a golf cart down Hutton Bay. We're driving along here. Donna's in the driver's seat today. The Dollar House, spelled D-O-L-L-E-R, and he was one of the founders of the island. Now, as Susan said, here we are, eating again. Nice boardwalk where we had our lunch. Got a terrible driver here. Another view of the boardwalk. Really good place. There's several restaurants. Well, Gary is taking us through into Holmes County here. Hopefully we'll see some horse and buggies in a short time. Found a place to do a little shopping. Sal's Kit and Caboodle. Gary's gonna look at some bird things. Let's take a look down here. You got the Rockers. That's the Rocker family. Nice young ladies. Finally did find some horse and buggies tied up here to go to the village center. One of the ladies.
It's Thursday morning and we left State Park. We're on our way to Loudonville, center of Loudonville, heading towards our campground. To our right is a river, so there's a lot of canoeing. He said there's about 2,600 campsites in this area. We are here, Wally World.
We're at Wally World on the Mohican River outside of Loudonville. Nice campground. A lot of people parked in those trees, and the river is right down in there, and you'll see a lot of canoers, and they have a nice clubhouse with an adult section and game room for the kids, and pool down there. So the campground is nestled right in the valley here, the Mohican Valley. Pretty nice Saturday, so there are quite a few people here, especially down by the river. We're now down by the river. Still some really nice sights here. Gonna wait and see if some canoers come down. Well, I think we have a couple of canoers coming down here. Well, a couple more coming down. Sort of stuck together here. Saturday, about noon, and we're just off on a drive to see the countryside. This is Ohio's longest covered bridge. called Bridge of Dreams. No motorized vehicles allowed, but horses and buggies do use this. And Susan.
Okay, there's an Amish farm there. We were just looking at, whoops, all the clothes hanging.
Yeah, we're stopping at a bakery and a country store. Hirschberger's Farm and Bakery. Have a little buggy here. Here, he's making some popcorn. The real old-fashioned way. Let's see if I can get close and see some of that corn down in there. Alright, we got a little popping action going on now. Stirring around, trying to make sure they don't jump out of there. Some boy gonna jump into my pocket. Well, he's pretty much got her finished off. Dumps it out. And there we go. Then we have a little bit of onions and green peppers. Down with her pony. But look at her shoes. Got the Crocs. Just down the road now we found a nice little cheese factory. Directly across from the cheese factory is the chalet, their village chalet restaurant, and we're going to come here tomorrow, Sunday, for a brunch. Susan's walking over to the cheese thing. You can see back here some Amish working in the field. At least I see the horses. I don't see any people. Also across the street you have an Amish guy sitting there selling something, and then looks like baskets and things she's selling. Down the road from our campground, and we're on the bridge crossing that river, and there's quite a few boats. And now we have a whole pile coming down here. We got canoes and a raft and all kinds of goodies.
Well, it's Sunday morning, and we just had our Sunday brunch or Sunday buffet and taking a nice drive. Well, it's Sunday afternoon, and we're driving through the town of Charm, Ohio. There's some Amish.
There's some kids in the yard up here.
Stacks along the side of the road.
White fences. We are in Dover, Ohio, and stopping at Werther's. So Werther was a wood carver, and this is the original building in which he did many of his carvings. The wood carver's name was Ernie Werther, called Mooney. Well, this was his original workshop. He loved to make trains, so you can see parts from some of the trains. Using the knives, he carved all of these pieces. He couldn't afford ivory, so he used old soup bones. And down here are some tiny pieces. He never used glue. He carved all this, and there's many, many more pieces that I'm not showing you. Assembled them all to make this train. Here is one of his trains. Perfect in every detail.
I heard this was something to see.
Well, They may not be.
And then we're at the Mohican State Park. It's Monday afternoon. And then while driving, we came across this covered bridge. So it's really a nice park. You can sit by the water and have a little picnic. They have picnic grounds and playground. Just a little further from the bridge, kids walking around, fishing in the river. Grandma and Grandpa relaxing while the kids are fishing over here. While riding around, we came to Malabar Farms. So we checked in, and Susan's gonna go work in the fields. She's gonna go do a little plowing and got her little International Farm-All tractor here. This farm is actually part of the state park system, but it is also a working farm, and in the visitor center, for example, you can buy meats and I guess some produce that they've made here. This to the left here is the old smokehouse. Learn that Lauren Bacall and Humphrey Bogart were married, like right there, and honeymooned at this farmhouse. You can hear the birds. Another view of the house. We've left Holmes County, are now in the northeast corner of Ohio at Lake Pymatuning, actually on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. It's Friday. We're at the Pymatuning Lake Spillway, and we look down here, those are all carp. So thick you can just about walk on them. Sunday afternoon we decided to go for a little drive and ended up at this place called Conneaut Lake Park. We thought this was a dull day, but everything's some live music, and we have a lot of bikers here, and they got vendors and all kinds of crap going on. The macho guys playing volleyball. The referee over there is marking the lines with a bikini. And it looks like they're going to have some music out here on this, I'd say high 80s in temperature, so beautiful day for boats and swimming and all that stuff.
Well, it's Monday afternoon, and we drove just outside of Jamestown, New York, and almost didn't make it to this campground. A lot of rain, a lot of flooding. As you can see, this trailer here didn't make it. They said it's hanging into the river, slid off the foundation about 6 feet. They say if we get rain, we're going to have to evacuate the campground.
We made it to Jamestown, New York. My brother lives here with his ex-wife. They live together. They're not married. They have been married twice and divorced twice. Just live together. And their daughter and her boyfriend live upstairs. So it's a community project. I think I see somebody. So this works pretty good. I can zoom in on your nostril. So we are in Jamestown. That's my brother and daughter and Edna and Susan. And we started off over there. That was Nick. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Well, it's Thursday morning. We just left Jamestown on our way to Canisius to see our neighbors Ray and Mary. We're actually entering the county that got flooded the worst, so hopefully we don't have any.
We made it to Ray and Mary's. There's Ray. And we're at their cottage. They have a really, really nice place here. Right on the water, as you can see. And we're getting ready to go out on their pontoon boat. And their cottage is basically the upper story there is where they live. You got 3 bedrooms, I guess, as I recall. A lot of windows facing the water. That balcony is facing west, so they have great sunsets. And down below is sort of storage and stuff like that. Got all the toys. It's got a paddle boat, little sunfish sailboat. Mary, turn around. Say hi to everybody.
Hi everyone. Hi Jim.
There's Captain Ray, a Coast Guard approved driver. So we're off on Lake Canisius. Alright, well where we are camped is straight up that road, a little bit higher than we can see. The crew person ready with the lines. And that's where we're heading. Ray is going to play chef. After being captain, he's now chef.
There's Dawn and Jim and Ray.
Figure out how you're going to do this one.
They're at pool school.
No easy one.
Nothing's changed. Jim's already knocked out of the game, sitting in his corner.
Really?
There's the
It's a
pro.
beautiful Sunday afternoon. We just recently got to our campground. So now we took a ride to Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen is situated at the south end of Lake Seneca, one of the Finger Lakes, one of the larger ones. So we're down near the marina, and there are quite a few sailboats out there. And shortly we'll hop on a boat and take a 1-hour cruise. It's coming in from the 2 o'clock cruise, and we'll be going out for the 3. Cap got all this under control. We are backing out of the slip. That's panic warning. We're underway. Now we're coming back into town. Marina. We're coming into the marina. We drove to the northern tip of the lake to Geneva. It's like Lake Geneva. And we found a nice little restaurant. There's a bar there, but Susan is sitting right outside on the deck. It's Monday morning, and we're at the south end of Keuka Lake, another of the Finger Lakes. It is a beautiful sunny day. So we're down here at the park in Hammondsport, 1:30 in the afternoon, so we're gonna sit out here and just have a little cheese and crackers for our lunch.
Driving back roads from Hammondsport to Watkins Glen State Park.
Watkins Glen State Park. We're gonna go on a hike along this gorge trail. We're at the right hand spot. We're gonna follow the river all the way down to the main entrance of the. Starting off, we're gonna go down, make a big turn. There's some people way down there, and I think we're going right down to the bottom. It's really warm out. It's probably the warmest day of the year. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, hottest time of the day. But it's pretty cool in here. Gonna go way down in the gorge. It's very neat down in here. Neat little bridge here. Goes over, and actually we're going to go down behind Susan's head. We are downstream from that bridge now, looking back. And you can see the bridge, there's a little waterfall on the left. Going through that spiral tunnel right under the waterfall. Looking back at that waterfall, and that spiral tunnel is just inside there.
Tuesday morning, we just left New York, crossed over into Pennsylvania, on our way to Milton, Pennsylvania. We should be there in about 2 hours. Jim's trying to catch up to those semis down there. A lot of the sumac is already changing color. It's really pretty drive along. Well, it's Wednesday afternoon, early afternoon. We're taking a little drive through the country in Pennsylvania on our way to Penn's Cave. Looks like we arrived at Penn's Cave. Just gotta go figure out where we're gonna go.
Well, we are at the cave. I have to walk down this set of stairs, and I have some boats. There's those boats. Well, we are coming out.
Oh, I gotta take a picture of this one.
Coming out of the cave. So we went about a half mile, I guess, through the cave, came out the other side. Scrumptious dinner at the Country Cupboard in Lewisburg. It's sunsetting time and time for a nice little fire. Just us and our main fire keeper and wood hoarder collector is doing her job here. This is a very nice campground. This is a Yogi Bear.
Well, it's Friday morning, and we're on our way to Kutztown near Reading, Pennsylvania, to visit our friends for the weekend. And we decided instead of taking the highways, we would take the back roads, and it's taken us through many, many small towns. Some of the towns, the streets are very narrow, and it makes it hard when the cars are parked on the side. But this one is, I don't know how we managed to find these steep roads. This is a 20-mile-an-hour straight down. Looks like we finally made it back onto the back road out of the small towns. Pick picking up a little speed.
So we're at the Unique Pretzel store, shop, factory. Susan's trying to make up her mind what kind of peanut butter pretzels respective. There's the pretzel factory. And if I go this way, I never even said, but we're with our friends Janet and Andy. He's floating around someplace, but I just wanted to get a picture of the sign that said Fairgrounds Markets. We're in this market. It's actually a huge market. Saturday morning, and we're with the Eckroats, Janet and Andy, who were so kind to drive us about 60-70 miles north to Scranton, Pennsylvania, to Steamtown. Steamtown has a collection, I guess you'd say it, of steam engines. So we're gonna go and check out. This is a national museum. There's a engine from the Lackawanna Road, which is, there's a Lackawanna here, but where I grew up in Buffalo area, they had the Erie-Lackawanna Railroad. I'm sure it's probably the same one. So there's a big turntable, or roundhouse this is. We're on a train. We're going to take a 2-hour train. I think that's Andy over there. Oh, and I think that that's Susan over there. And we're off. Sort of going backwards. Now there's the train that we're on. We made it to Moscow, Pennsylvania. They're gonna disconnect the train, send it back to the next track, and reconnect it on the other side. The engine that was pulling our cars, engine 354, now coming on to the roundhouse. Make a little noise because of the weight. And I believe they're going to put it in that center door just off to the right. Well, now they're starting to turn. Checking the tracks to make sure we're lined up. Gonna give them the signal here. Whoa. Little puffs of smoke. Wheels are beginning to turn. Going up barn for the night. Get put to bed. Nighty night.
Well, it's Monday morning. We made it to Lancaster. We're right outside a field, cornfield, and there's a little Amish boy doing some trimming. Looking out our motorhome, cornfield and Amish land. Just driving along. They're taking a buggy ride. We're going to do that tomorrow.
We made it to Romer's Retreat, where we had been about 3 years ago on this same site. And see the beautiful countryside. That's an Amish farm right in front of us. Yesterday, when we checked in, there was a little Amish boy trimming weeds along the corn row. The campground where we're staying is just to the left of where I'm standing here, just to take a view of some of the countryside. Really nice and quiet and peaceful. And if we go over here, comes a little buggy down the road. We're in Lidditz to the first pretzel company in the United States. At the Sturgis Pretzel Company. So we're gonna go inside, I believe, and they have tours and of course samples. Drive along and come into a covered bridge.
Wednesday morning, we found another covered bridge.
Recalculating. Continue 0.6 miles,
Going through
then
it.
turn right on West
On our
Becky
way
Lane.
to Intercourse for a buggy ride.
Back up, back. All right, get up, Sally, get up. All right, folks, welcome aboard here. My host's name is Sally, my name is Aaron, I'll be your driver here. Corn at the raised sweet corn. Son is farming, so get up. Over here we got the dairy barn, the cow stable in there, right in there. Come on, Sally, get up.
Well, we're at the Intercourse Pretzel Factory.
He's trying to make a pretzel. He's rolling out his dough. There's our final product.
Okay, Susan's gonna make one here. So she made a U, crossed it over, then she twists it over. And there we are. Perfect. At the campground, they have a reenactment camp,
Like they
Civil
just
War
arrested
reenactment camp. Still in Pennsylvania, so this is pretzel country. So now we're at the Snyder's factory, and we're gonna head over there and go on a tour. This is a little bit bigger place. Now I like hot dogs, so we're going to Famous Wieners. Hot Wiener restaurant. Now we're at the Famous Hot Wiener. So there's their menu up there. Very small place. Couple stools. Our waitress and the Wiener man. Hot dog with them, or that's with onion, and Susan has one without. Looks pretty good. Visiting the pretzel factory. Came to the Utz pretzel factory, or not pretzel, but potato chip plant for a tour. However, the tour, they would not allow us to take any photographs, but it was quite interesting.
Famous by General
We're
Pickett's
taking a
ill-fated
bus
charge against Union forces on
Eisenhower's
Cemetery Ridge
home.
in 1863.
and
Although
we're
White desired a
traveling
combat assignment
through the
during the First
battlefield.
World War, he was instead ordered to organize.
So this is the Eisenhower farm. He bought this farmland after his presidency, and actually retired here. guest house. And just in front of the folks is a helicopter landing pad, because of course he was still protected by the Secret Service. This was his view, looking at the Blue Ridge in the background there. And a big barn. He used to raise Angus cattle here. And in his will he stated that the land should always be used to have at least 60 head, of which there are today. Well, we're in the house, in the living room. They moved in 1955. The room is pretty much the same as it was when Mamie died, about 10 years after Ike. We're now on the back porch, and this was their favorite room where they would sit. Ike would bring some dignitaries here after showing them the farm. They were the first president to own a TV. And we're in the master bedroom. And Mamie occupied this for, again, for the 10 years after Ike died. A little TV up there. They say that on the bed, she would pile books and things on Ike's side so it wouldn't seem so empty.
Well, it's Thursday morning, September 4th. We left Pennsylvania, drove through a little bit of Maryland, a little bit of West Virginia. We're now in Virginia, in the Shenandoah Valley, along the Blue Ridge Mountains. About 100 miles to go to our next stop. To the left of us over here is Skyline Drive. We drove that last year in the car, this portion of it.
Saturday, right around noontime, we're in the city of Stanton, spelled S-T-A-U-N-T-O-N. Getting ready to board this free trolley which takes you around the city and explains some of the historical. After our little bus tour, we get off on the sort of the main street of town called Beverly Street. Not too sure what the occasion is. There's footballs, some clothes hanging on the line, and a little music.
It's all just fun and games until it's clear.
On the little Mexican restaurant there.
Oh, my little internet queen. Yeah, my little internet girlfriend.
We're at the Baja Bean Company.
All this time you were my internet girlfriend. I was really getting cyber STDs. Oh no, no little internet girlfriend.
Not far away, we got to visit a place featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives called the Beacon Drive-In, where we got to meet the owners, and then we got to try out their burger, but especially their fries stacked with onion rings. Boy, was that good. Excellent.
All the trucks are passing us. We drive through the mountains like this, but that's okay.
While in Maggie Valley, we did get to enjoy the North Carolina Mountain Fair, an annual event in a small town south of Asheville. It was a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and the fair was not large, but certainly large enough, and there were enough people to make it really interesting. And surprisingly, there were a lot of exhibits and arts going on that were free, as well as, of course, the rides. Of course, we had to try some of the local foods and enjoy the pig races while we were there. Just a very, very enjoyable Saturday afternoon. Our Royal Harbor neighbors who we had met earlier in Ohio were also in Maggie Valley, and we had an opportunity to have lunch together. On the way home, we stopped at Milledgeville, Georgia, a small town that once used to be the capital of Georgia. We were fortunate enough to have a personalized tour of many of the antebellum homes and found that this was just a terrific little city. On I-75, 4 miles from our exit and just 35 miles from home, we lost what we found to be our serpentine belt. And this caused us to lose all power, utilities, brakes, and everything. So we did manage to pull over, and within 3 hours they had us towed and we were back on the road again. Made it back.